Well, hey everybody. This is the first video that I'm recording for you all. And we're just going to talk about, we're going to get into ATM-4 stuff really soon. But what I want to do first is talk about what you need to have prepared before you can do a script in ATM-4, or at least what makes it a lot easier and quicker, right? So there are basically 5 things that you need to have ready to go. Okay. And first of all, the number one thing before you can do anything is a script. Now, what I have up here, don't ask me why I'm using Internet Explorer, but right here, I filled in a bit about a planetarium show template, and this is what's guiding me in what I'm doing. Okay. Bottom line is, when you're doing a planetarium show here, you have to tell a story, not a lecture. Lectures are boring. Nobody likes them. Well, some people like them. I kind of like them. But in a planetarium show, you have to tell a story. Okay? Pretend you're Morgan Freeman, more of a documentary style. Okay? No lectures. Documentaries are good. True storytelling is the peak, but, we'll do what we can. But the point is storytelling, right? The script, having it good is a first priority, because your script is not going to be perfect. It's not like you can't get it perfect, but it is going to change, but not a lot. And so if you have a good script, you have a good story, you don't have to change a lot. And the better your script is to begin with, then the better your show will be and the easier all of this will go. So, number one, script ready. As you can see here, my topic is going to be Italy tourism and the history of science in Italy. That's because I went on a trip with my family this past holiday. And why am I doing this? These are all guiding questions to help you with your script. I'd like to commemorate my trip to Italy, highlight the science and history I experienced, and show learners how to make a planetarium show. All right. Goals of communication. Italy is beautiful and historical. Okay. And my overall vision is essentially a slideshow of the experience using photos, video, and 360 footage. I think that sounds pretty good, right? We're going to do pretty well. Now, before I do anything else, I put together an outline of it. Okay. And so the outline is essentially Rome, and then when I went to the Vatican, I have lots of good stuff from there. Rome and just Rome. Bologna, which is where we spent the second half. I have some night shots. I also have a note to check my 180 and 360 folders. That's full dome stuff instead of just equirectangular shots. And then there's Florence, where I visited the Duomo, the Museo di Galileo, Galileo's tomb in Santa Croce. All kinds of stuff, right? So that's the outline. That's kind of the overall storyline, right? Now, that should all be done already. And then the script, I'm going to be honest, I'm pulling this together during the COVID stuff, and I'm trying to get this out to you as fast as possible. So my story is terrible, but as you see, I actually have a script laid out. Last Christmas break, my family and I went to Italy to visit my wife's blah, 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 blah. Okay? And I actually stopped before I really got into it. So you all should have this already scripted up. Okay? Full on story, exactly what you're going to say. If you're the narrator, what are you going to say? That's where you should be. So number one, script. Okay, 1/5 of the way there. Let's talk about the visuals being planned. That's step number 2. Now, I did this as an example. So the very second sentence that I say is, our first stop was Rome, where we visited the Vatican, the Colosseum, the Pantheon, and a monument to an astronomer who faced an untimely death. Okay, so what am I going to be showing during this time? That's really important. As you're writing your script, or after you write your script the first time, you should think about, what is it going to look like? What do I want my audience to see as I'm speaking? And so right now, I know that I want to put a picture from outside of the Vatican Dome. And so all I did was I highlighted Vatican, went to Insert, Comment, and I put in the comment, picture of the outside of the dome. Makes sense, right? I didn't get the picture yet. Well, I have the picture on my hard drive, but I don't have the picture yet. I don't know which one I'm going to use. I just know I want a picture of the outside of the dome there. I also did that for the Colosseum. I did that for the Pantheon. I did that for the monument to Giordano Bruno. I almost said J. Bruno. He'll have his statue one day, but not yet. And here we go. That's all I need you to do for number 2. The visuals planned. You're basically commenting what it would look like and where in the show it would appear. This will change after we actually put them in. Okay? But that's step number 2. Visuals are planned. Step number 3. You need your pictures all collected and labeled. Let me show you what I did here. These are my Italy slides. There you go, in that folder. And what I did is I labeled them. Let me change the view so you can see that a little better. I labeled them like this. All of my Bologna pictures are labeled from 1 to 19. And I labeled them with the letter first, or the Bologna first, because those are going to be chunked together. I'm going to put them all in at the same time. And I numbered them in the order at which I want them to appear in the show. Okay? You don't need 4 zeros there. That I just couldn't figure out how to not get the 4 zeros there. Okay? You can do that with text. All I really did was I highlighted all the ones that were from Bologna, right-clicked, and said rename, and then it allowed me to rename all of these. Okay? There's different ways to do it, but anyway, you see I've got Bruno's, I've got the Colosseum, Florence Dome, and Florence at night, and we've got the Museo Galileo there, a lot of pictures, okay? So that's how you organize them. Once you have them in there like that, here's what you got to do. It's very important. Over here, you see this slides shortcut. This is on everybody's laptop. You double click on the slides shortcut, and in here is where I would put that whole folder from the desktop. Go ahead and put it in that folder. You have to move it, okay? That way you can use those pictures in your show. If you do not have them in the slide shortcut, they will not be able to be used.
Dad?
Yes?
I have something to say.
What?
I want to play the thing where you hold the thing.
All right, that's step number 3. Step number 4 is have all your videos together. Now, what I have here is a folder full of videos, movies. And by full, I mean 2 of them. There's actually more up here, but that's a whole nother story. But if you have any videos, you put them in here, and then you put them into the movies shortcut. Don't ask me why. I'm not a developer, but what I know is that you have to have these in these shortcuts, or you won't be able to use them. Okay? Lastly, you want to have any Starry Night scenes outlined in your story. For example, I know that when I'm in Bologna, I want to show them what the night sky looked like on Starry Night, and then show them pictures that I actually took. And so what I do here is I put in a comment that says SN for Starry Night, December sky in Italy. Okay? So that way I can go back and make a Starry Night favorite while I'm working on this, save it, and put it in ATM-4. Okay? So if you have these 5 things ready to go, then ATM-4 is more just bringing everything together and making a show. You're not writing it and creating it to begin with. You're just stitching it all together, okay? This, basically, the 5 steps I talked about are like gathering all of the ingredients and having a recipe in front of you, okay? ATM-4 is you actually going in the kitchen and cooking that meal, putting it all together, doing everything in the right way, okay? And then eventually we can present that to our audience. All right, so make sure you have all your prep work done so that you're ready for the next video where we actually start diving into how to put this together.